Well, welcome back, everybody. Time to start getting some of the leech trapping stuff out. Move some totes around that are full of leech traps. It's that time of the year. Well, welcome back, everybody. Time to start getting some of the leech trapping stuff out. Move some totes around that are full of leech traps. It's that time of the year. Welcome back, everybody. I figure I'm gonna start getting some of the leech trapping stuff out. As you see, we have definitely lost a lot of snow here. So it's time to move on. Yeah, there's a side-by-side load. Still got a few more in there. Pile of John boats here. There's a few guys that leech trap, and some of us do it out of John boats. Some of the other guys, they walk around and check them from shore. Well, there's a couple ways to do things, but yeah, this is back of the backyard here. These are what I use for a leech trap. Pool noodle. This little chunk works way better than the 2 or 3 inch insulation board that I see guys use, and they cut big squares and they take up a lot of room. Simple pool noodle. Walmart, Dollar General, $1. You can get 40, 50 chunks out of one for $1. Pretty simple. Clothespins. So after you put your piece of meat in there, I like using fish. I go and net a lot of suckers in the spring, chop them up, little pieces of suckers. The rib meat, when I clean fish all winter long, I'll keep the ribs. It's got to be meat though, not the guts, just the meat. And I'll be showing you guys in the videos once I start leech trapping. So Liver works good. Some guys use Hamburg. I don't personally like hamburger. It makes a mess in your traps, in your boat. It just makes a mess in my opinion. So what I would do is put a piece of liver, fish, your bait in here. I like using 3 clothespins, one on top, one there, one there. Pretty simple. Then you just throw it over the side of the boat. You know, it's a pretty simple concept. And once again, back to the traps here. I know a lot of guys use coffee cans, pie plates, different kinds of stuff, which is fine for the fishermen going out trying to catch a dozen or two to go fishing with. I am commercially leech trapping. The leeches I trap here, I sell here at the bait shop, and I also supply Wisconsin. Guys buy the leeches from me, so if you're in Wisconsin, use leeches. They probably come out of this trap here, or one of the thousands of traps that I have. This is the best for commercial trapping in my opinion. They got a tri-fold one, which some guys swear by them. I don't think you catch any more leeches out of a tri-fold one over these. That's just my personal opinion. I know these don't take up as much room as say the pie plate or what a coffee can, whatever. You know, each tote here will hold roughly about 50 traps. So again, they're in the boat, in a tote, easy to deal with. A lot in the boat, no coffee can, trap, no pie plate. Sure, it works for the fishermen, not if you're doing it commercially. Boy, that sun popped out. I had to take my hoodie off. It's a little warm now. So again, guys, when I talk about things, it's my opinion. You know, don't take. I'm not here to argue with anybody. This is what works the best for me. Is traps like this. Again, we're not a lot of the ponds I'm trapping. Got to take the wheeler or the side-by-side back too. So trying to get a bunch of pie plates or coffee cans or whatever else you think that will work. There's just not enough room. Got to carry our boats in. I drag my boats in half a mile to ponds that I can't get the four-wheeler to. So again, this saves a lot of time, a lot of space. One tote full of traps, one bucket full of clothespins. The best clothespins that I have found to use are the cheap ones from Dollar General. They're very, they just hold up. The ones from Walmart, they just don't seem to hold up. The Dollar General brand are the best ones to have. Alright, another thing I like to do with my buckets clothespins, full of clothespins, alright? My traps stay in the boats, stay out there in the woods year-round on the ponds that are worth trapping, alright? So I like to drill holes. See, there's a number of holes in here, okay? So what that does, when I'm done trapping for the day, put this in the boat, put the lid on, and it dries. If not, you just let them sit there and be wet and in the water. You know, they're clothespins, they're going to rot and they're going to break, and this way it helps keep them alive longer. Yeah, I shouldn't say alive, but you know what I mean. Keeps them good. Like I said, these have got a couple of years of trapping with them. You take care of them like anything, they'll hold up. Alright, make sure this thing is working. Alright, it is. So, what I like to do every spring is just kind of get them out, get them ready, check on them. You know, some of these are brand new, never been used. Yeah. And I know everybody does it different. I like the string in the center of the trap, so it kind of comes up when you pull it this way. We used to run the string on the end. What happens is when you pull it out of the water this way, the water coming in here will force water through here, and it will, if the leeches aren't stuck to the trap inside, the water will force them to come out. So just a good tip. In the center, in my opinion, works the best. And again, you just wrap them up, just go through them, and double check, see if they're ready to go. All right, so here's one of the older traps. See how the string's on the end? I'm going to move it to the center here. Again, so you pull it up this way, and seems to work a lot better. It doesn't, the water going through the trap doesn't wash the leeches out. So I'll set this one aside, and I'll fix that one. I'll fix that one here in a little while. And again, the string, like this string here, if you can see, in my opinion, is a little too short. You know, you don't want it too long, depending how deep the water you're in. You know, some ponds have a gradual slope. This will work fine, but if you're in a pond that it kind of drops off quick before it goes off, this ain't gonna stay. The short string is not gonna stay along the shoreline where you want it. So a little longer there, and it just seems about 6 foot is about where you want the string. So yeah, I'm going to continue to go through these leech traps, get them ready. The next step that I will be doing, my garage where all the leech tanks are is a mess. I do a lot out of the garage here, leech trapping, minnow tanks. I sell bear bait out of here. Hang bears in the cooler, so it's a small garage. Yeah, it becomes cluttered pretty quick. So I may show that. If not, it won't be long with this weather before I'm able to get out there leech trapping in some of my ponds that are out in fields and stuff like that. But so we'll be taking you along for that. If you guys like the content, definitely like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, whatever. Upcoming stuff will be leech trapping and minnow trapping. Yeah, and then I'll get the minnow tanks, or the leech tanks going. I'll show you how I do my leech tanks and my minnow tank. Yeah, so thanks again for watching, guys, and have a great day.